Hey my friend, welcome back to AttractPassion. Today I'm making this message on the topic stop attracting wrong people. Even though it sounds funny because no one is wrong in your life, they're all a reflection of you, so you can learn from them the hidden patterns that you can change in yourself. But I will go way deeper to understand how this all works. A person wrote, I suffer from anxiety because I don't know what I do wrong. People are never happy around me. I wish I knew the right way. I feel lost. I'm grateful for your guidance, really. Blessings to you and your channel. Thank you so much, my friend. Blessings to you and to everyone listening to this message today. So, many times when we feel like this, we may be asking ourselves, why do I always attract these people? Maybe the ones who drain me, the ones who misunderstand me, the ones who are constantly anxious or angry or mean, or the ones who leave me feeling unseen or just anxious or questioning my worth. So what we need to understand is that you're not attracting them by mistake. You're attracting them because deep down they're familiar. They just feel familiar to you. And your reality, this what I call mental matrix you live inside, doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what feels safe to your nervous system. And the strange thing is that even what we don't want feels safe to us because that's what we're used to. So when we look around and we see unhappy people, these unhappy people actually mirror back to us that we are unhappy. And then we think that if they would be happier, we would be happier. But actually your happiness is your responsibility. Your state of being, your emotional state, your energy state is your responsibility. And when we understand that, we stop focusing so much on how people around us feel, because we start cultivating more of what we want to feel, and that requires a change in our lifestyle, of course, because we can't live the same life as before and hope that we'll feel better. We need to truly dive way deeper into ourselves and begin to hear, to notice what we've suppressed, that subtle feeling that says to us what we crave, what we need, what we want to do. So let's talk about the matrix of familiarity. Reality is not external, it's projected. And that's something very important to know. Every person, every situation, every emotional dynamic that repeats in your life is a reflection of your subconscious expectations. We call this the mental matrix. So we project out what we expect that will happen. So one example for this can be that you have this deep belief that people are always mean towards you and they always want to take something from you. And then you go into the bank and there's a mean person there, a mean worker that is just, maybe woke up on the left foot and has a bad day, and now you're a victim of that. And you go into a grocery store and there's a mean coworker that just has a bad day, and then you come home and you're like, why I'm constantly meeting this kind of people? But it's because you expect the world to be like that. So your mental matrix has been programmed to expect this kind of people because maybe you've been growing up in an environment where people around you were like that. So you just got very accustomed to it. Even though you don't like it, it's what's familiar to you. It's the invisible structure of beliefs, emotional memories, and energetic patterns that shape your experience of reality. It's not punishment, it's programming, and that's what I want to help you with today. I know that part of you may be very resentful towards this message because when we say it's our responsibility, then we may start blaming ourselves, like there's something wrong with me, I'm a mistake, I'm a problem, that I'm manifesting this kind of things. But it's actually just it can help us to enlighten deep limiting beliefs that make us expect this kind of thing. So that's when we can actually start the reprogramming process. And there is no change without change, right? We need to make a change within us, within our belief system, within the energy that we feel. That's what I've been teaching for years now, and people who are really doing this work, they are experiencing incredible changes. I'm seeing you in the comments every single day. So if you spend years feeling responsible for other people's moods, you will unconsciously attract those who need saving. If you grow up around inconsistency or emotional distance, you will feel magnetized to those who keep you guessing, because unpredictability feels like home to you. So even when you say, I just want peace, I just want someone who treats me right, your body might still be vibrating with the frequency of hypervigilance and self-blame, and that's the signal the field picks up. You don't get what you want, you get what you expect. So you really need to pay attention not to what you want, but to where your energy is like, what are your unconscious expectations? Because then when you focus on what you truly want, and if you're really, really precise, that's something most people never do. Like if you take a piece of paper and write down what kind of people you want to meet, how people treat you when you go to different places, what you want to see around you. You need to ask yourself then, okay, what energy is behind it? What emotion is behind it? So how would I feel if people would be treating me like that? And that's then the feeling you need to practice to feel more frequently. And you will notice your body has certain needs in order to be in that state more frequently. You will notice maybe you need to change your diet a little bit. Maybe you need to become more active, working out. Maybe you need to spend more time at pleasant places. Maybe there are certain affirmations you could start saying. Maybe there's, maybe your environment is very toxic, or people around you are very toxic and you need to move away from some of them for some time. Maybe. You will notice your inner guidance will start giving you answers to your questions, or at least some kind of intuitive sparks that if you will truly listen to them, you will know exactly what to do. So it doesn't mean you just need to move yourself immediately away from what feels toxic. It just means become more in tune with your own guidance mechanism, because it will tell you what you can do in order to shift your energy state. So let's talk about anxiety for a moment and how it helps you to attract more things to feel anxious about and what to do about it. When you say, I have anxiety because I don't know what I do wrong, you need to understand this. Your anxiety isn't proof that something's wrong with you. It's proof that your body has been living in survival mode for way too long. Your system learned to consistently scan for danger, for the next rejection, the next disappointment, the next disconnection. So when you enter a room, you're not just being there, you're reading the energy, anticipating reactions, trying to manage how others feel. And that's exhausting. Just think about it, how many times you are in this kind of a state. Reading room just to notice the potential danger. Maybe you've been growing up once again in a place where you needed to protect yourself because maybe your caregivers couldn't provide you this sense of feeling safe, this sense of feeling seen, this sense of feeling loved. So you needed to constantly look around and be prepared in case something wrong happens. And you just became so accustomed once again to this negative anticipation that it became your natural state. But it's not your natural state, it's a very altered state. It's not a natural state of a healthy human being. It's a natural state of unhealthy human being. And deep in your soul level, you will notice you are already safe as a spiritual being. You're already loved as a spiritual being. You're already seen and protected as a spiritual being. But now, if you truly feel like that, there's sovereignty to it. There's empowerment to it. And in that state, there's no anxiety anymore because you feel empowered. You feel sovereign. So this kind of belief needs to alter your energy, not just your mindset, because people have all kinds of beliefs related to spirituality, but they don't live according to them. That's why they feel anxious at the times when they are actually all the time protected by spirit or God. So the irony in this work is that people will always feel your energy, not what you want to see. They don't understand it consciously, but they sense the tension in your field. That's why they treat you the way you're used to how people treat you. It makes them uncomfortable, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're carrying a vibration of self-protection instead of presence. So you see, you're carrying a vibration of self-protection instead of presence. When you learn to cultivate being more present, which means being calm, when a person is calm, person enjoys the moment, enjoys life, no matter the circumstances. They're just in love with life. And yeah, it's a practice. You don't need to be perfect immediately. You don't need to be a master of it immediately. But every single day you can set up an intention for you. Today, I will be more relaxed. Today, before I even start my day, I will get in touch with the energy of relaxation. I will relax my body. I will take some deep breaths. I will get so connected with myself that I will not lose the connection with myself throughout the day. And then during, doing your things, notice when something exhausts you because you're trying to control something, and just take a deep breath, take a nap if you need to, and just return back to yourself, return back into feeling relaxed. Maybe even notice what part of your body requires the most of your attention. I know for me, if I feel anxious or stressed, I will feel it in my stomach. It's my third chakra, my third energy center that requires a lot of my attention and love and care, because it's the center that's controlling or is about control. And maybe if you've been growing up in a place where you thought that it's all up on you, you developed a belief that things will only work out if you control all possible scenarios. And therefore, this energy center becomes very exhausted because you're trying to control everything. But when you feel safe, you actually allow life to organize everything in your favor, because now you're not interfering with the field. Now you allow the field to bring you what's the best for you. So when we understand this, we understand the how the mental matrix mirrors you. It doesn't send you more love until you feel safe to receive it. It keeps sending you situations that ask, can you stay open even here? Can you trust yourself even now in these situations? And this is very, very important to know. So can you trust even when people around you are unhappy? Can you focus on your own happiness? Can you protect your energy from what surrounds you? And can you change your mentality when you start focusing on maybe unhappiness of other people? Can you actually focus on something that makes you feel good? Or can you focus on what you can appreciate, what you can be grateful for? Or can you actually ask yourself, do I even need to be here? Or is there something else I want to do? Like, I know when I was a kid, what I would truly love to see in my parents would be to see them doing something they feel fulfilled about instead of complaining. But it's something that's out of my control. So what I did, I made my life the way that I feel fulfilled. And now when I'm older, I've noticed that it's inspiring to my parents, and they are now living a bit happier lives because also they are now doing more things they feel fulfilled about. So you see, we can only influence our environment by being an example of what we want to see, not by trying or wanting to see more of just what we want to see without truly creating that state, that energy of what we want to see within ourselves first. There's a video I made about manifestation where I talked with the whiteboard, where I said that you can't see outside of you what is missing inside of you. So when people around you are unhappy, it's also because you are unhappy, and they are only reflecting back to you what is missing or what is present within you. So work on your own happiness, my friend. It's not something that should make you feel like a sense of guilt or like there's something wrong with me. It's actually it's an inspiring insight. Hey, there's a greater state you can live in. There's so much more for you in the future. That's why so many times I make these inspiring, positive messages, not to give you some false hope or to give you some positivity, but to give you a truth of who you can be. And if you truly practice that, you will become it. And that's where you realize that you don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to learn the right way to be. There is no perfect version of you that everyone will approve of, because that's an illusion. That's the mental prison that keeps you stuck. You've been trained to believe that love must be earned, that peace comes after perfection, or that belonging requires performance. But actually, the truth is, every time you abandon your authenticity to fit in, which is just the most authentic you can be, or the most natural you can be in the present moment, you send a message to the field of reality. I'm not safe as I am. And the field, your reality, obeys and brings you people who will also feel like that. They don't feel safe as they are, so they need to pretend, they need to act, they need to live certain way just so they survive. And that's what's then familiar in your reality. So it mirrors that belief back through people who can't see your worth, situations that drain you, and connections that keep you questioning your value. And you break this cycle not by becoming better, but by becoming real and as connected with yourself as possible, so you can once again hear your guidance, like what would feel more authentic right now, who I truly want to be, how I want to live my life. By allowing yourself to exist, to be unapologetically in your natural energy, will almost make these people disappear. They will just not be in your life anymore, or if they will stay, they will change. Because when your energy has changed, now your reality can't sustain people who are not aligned with your unapologetical, authentic energy. And this is huge. Like, I've experienced that so many times that now when I don't like something, I know, the field is reflecting back to me what I need to heal or what I need to embody more truly. So let's talk about how to now reprogram the field. The first step is energetic safety. You must teach your body what calm feels like, because right now calm might feel boring or even unsafe. Sit with yourself daily. Close your eyes, breathe into your belly, and remind your body, I am safe to be loved. I love myself. I'm safe to be seen. I'm safe to relax. And yes, these words may sound simple, but it's how you start to rewire the code. Now, for a moment, before I mentioned that when I felt anxious or when I felt stressed, I would feel a lot of this energy in my stomach. So I would put hands over my stomach area, especially that place where I would feel anxiety, and I would close my eyes and I would say, I'm safe to be loved, I'm safe to be seen, I'm safe to relax. And then for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I would just feel this energy, how it feels to be safe, how it feels to be seen, and being completely okay with that, like safe to be seen, and loving myself, how it feels when I truly love myself. And in that practice, I would relax. And if we do it consistently, it's like building a muscle. Here we are building a spiritual muscle. It's a new energy signal that we're training to feel more frequently until it becomes more natural to us. And the people who match your old vibration will therefore naturally drift away. The ones aligned with your pace will start appearing. Quietly, naturally, without effort, they will just come into your life. That's how energy works. When you shift your frequency, life follows. And I know many times I've shared with you this example. When I've started painting, when I truly decided to go all in with painting, after a few months, I've started meeting artists. Like wherever I went, I've started meeting artists. If I was watching a movie, there was an artist in the movie. I remember one day I was looking to watch one documentary, something like that, and spontaneously I came across a documentary about Picasso. And I went into a bookstore and there was a book by Da Vinci. And I was like amazed. Oh, I've just started painting. I went all in, and now suddenly I see artists all around me. I've started meeting, artists like that, and so on. So I've recognized, oh, that's how the field reflects back to me who I am becoming. And this is what we call the mirror effect. Every relationship is a mirror. The emotionally unavailable reflect the ways you hide your vulnerability. The ones who disrespect you show where you still tolerate less than you deserve. The inconsistent ones reveal where you're inconsistent with yourself. Where your boundaries waver, where your truth gets softened to avoid rejection. So that's what it means to learn from the reflection in your reality, to learn from the life you're living, to learn from people around you. That's what it means. But it's hard to notice sometimes what is missing. That's why it's so good to have mentors on our path. I always had mentors and teachers, to have coaches that can help you to see what you're missing. So don't judge the reflections, study them. That's what I'm always saying to you. Study what you're seeing, because what you're seeing is not punishment. They're all teachers. They're showing you what's ready to be healed. So instead of asking, why do they treat me this way, ask, what belief inside me allowed this? What part of me thought this was love? And then with compassion, release that old story, because that story is not you. It's the conditioning you absorbed. And that will lead you to the shift. You will know your energy has changed when pace starts to feel exciting, when calm no longer feels empty but very, very full. You're kind of overflowing with calmness. Like, I often like to remind people to see their bodies as emotional cups. Like, what emotional cup is overflowing and what cup is empty? And sometimes sadness is overflowing when happiness is very empty. And that's when I would direct people to alter their lifestyle, so they will fill up the cup of happiness a little bit more. Because when we're happy, when we're satisfied with how we're living, we see our lives completely differently. We can learn so much better from our environment than when we are sad. So remember, my friend, the mental matrix doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your state. When your nervous system resets in self-trust, you stop magnetizing those who thrive on your self-doubt. Love starts to find you through resonance, not repetition. But if you're repeating, training resonance, then you will become just very good at it. That's why I love meditation, because it helps me to practice feeling a new energy, so I become more familiar with it. So then throughout the day, I train myself feeling it. I'm not focusing on the lack or what I don't want. I'm focusing on that energy that I want to cultivate more frequently, like feeling safe, feeling grateful, feeling happy, whatever it is. And what used to feel like the wrong people will simply stop existing in your reality. So the goal isn't to find the right person. It's to become the energy that no longer entertains people that you don't want to see in your life so frequently anymore. Not because there's something wrong with them, but you know you deserve better. So to embody self-respect so deeply that you no longer negotiate your worth, and to radiate calm so steadily that chaos can't hook you anymore. Notice that how many times you feel attracted to chaos just because it's familiar to you, even though it's not healthy for you. When you hold that vibration, that the universe aligns to meet you there. New people, new opportunities, and new versions of people start showing up in your life because now you have changed. This is the power of a self-regulated, self-loving being. You no longer chase validation, you emanate truth. And in a matrix built on mirrors, that's all it takes. So if you feel lost right now, my friend, if you don't know what you're doing wrong, just take a deep breath, because you are not wrong. You're awakening. Actually, congratulations, because you're becoming aware that something was wrong, and it just helped you to see that there is a better way. That's when we become very grateful for what we don't like, because it redirects us towards more of what we like. And I would like to encourage you to truly take a piece of paper and write down precisely what you want to see in your life, because more precise you are with your desires, more easily these things will start finding you, because usually we experience what we don't want also because we don't allow ourselves to develop clarity around what we want, and the universe will mirror to you contrast only because contrast can help you to see what you want by seeing what you don't want. You're seeing how deeply your world has been shaped by your past conditioning. You're finally stepping out of that pattern. Every person you left, every situation that hurt was never a failure. It was feedback. It was the matrix showing you where your energy was still fragmented, still searching, still seeking approval. Now we get to choose again to rebuild your inner field on self-trust, self-worth, and inner peace, to let your energy, not your wounds, guide your connections. Because the truth is, you were never attracting the wrong people. You were attracting the right lessons for the version of you that was ready to awaken. And now that version has served its purpose. It's time to step into the next frequency where love is not survival but peace, where connection doesn't drain you, it nourishes you, where you no longer lose yourself to be chosen because you've already chosen yourself. Now this is your awakening, my friend. I hope you found great value today, and to anyone who has any more questions or what you're going through that you would like to maybe receive more clarity, write in the comment section. Thank you so much for your contribution, because every time when you inspire a certain topic, you actually help others to heal and to gain more clarity. So thank you so much. I also hope you've enjoyed in today's painting called Greatness. This is a painting that I've created on commission for a beautiful soul that wanted to have a symbol of, this eagle, of power, of higher perspective. So I hope it can also awaken these things within you. And to anyone who would like to get a print of it, you can find all of my artworks on AttractPassion.com. And if you will type in the search greatness, you will find this one, but also look for other ones. Each painting was channeled. I see pictures in my mind's eye, and that's why I paint them. So painting that resonates with you holds the energy that can help you with whatever you need. Each painting has a unique story, so go and check it out, which one resonates with you. Thank you so much for your support with that. You're also supporting this mission. I love you all, my friends. Also, feel free to join our YouTube membership for more exclusive content. That's also how you can support this channel. Until next time, one love.